Hey gamblers, welcome back to Shoulda Cashed Out. And today at the craps table, we're going to discuss your gambling strategy at the casino. What's your mindset at the casino? Why are you losing at the casino? So let's get on the same page real quick. From the moment you walk in through those doors, everything in there is designed to take your money. Okay? If you do not have the discipline, courage, guts, the mindset, you are going to struggle. Okay? How do we counter that sort of disadvantage? Okay? And so we're going to go through. And we'll talk mainly about craps, but other games too. So, number one, we'll start. I'll kind of do order of importance. Let's see here. So we'll start with the $100 chip, your bankroll. How much bankroll are you taking to the casino? Okay? Are you underfunded? Or do you have a substantial bankroll? There's a few different ways to approach your bankroll. I think Ken ran a beautiful, wonderful series. You got $3,000. Now what? He only used $1,000 and he had the other $2,000 tucked away. That way, if shit went sideways, he still had two more chances. Okay? So, your bankroll determines, number one, what game you should play. Not necessarily should I play craps, baccarat, blackjack, whatever. What I mean by that is your bankroll determines what table minimum you should probably play. As a rule, if you're under $500, you should probably be playing bubble craps. And we'll just talk craps specifically here. If you have $500, you're looking for a $5 table in general. There's certain strategies that will sustain a $500 bankroll for a $10 table. But playing over a $10 table with a $500 bankroll is suicide. Can you get lucky? Yes. Anyone can get lucky. But if we're looking to try our best and remove luck and give ourselves the best chance of success, then playing a $15 table with a $500 bankroll, not the smartest decision. Okay? $1,000 bankroll, you're looking at a $10 table, $1,500. That's where once you get into the $1,500, I think you're fine with specific strategies at a $25 level. Okay? I think it's very risky to play at a $25 table minimum without a very tuned in strategy or betting progression. I think it's very risky. So bankroll is the $100 chip. The next, and this is probably, I would say this one's probably a red chip. Knowledge of the game you're playing. And that goes into what the bets pay, what the odds are, different payouts, and then just what kind of strategies are working, what doesn't work. So just a general knowledge of the game, okay? I see several videos where they take $1,000 and they try to figure out this game, and they end up losing the $1,000. If you want to learn at home, or take $100 on the bubble craps machine and learn there. Risking $1,000 to try to learn this game, not a good idea. Okay? Yeah, there's beginner's luck, but for majority of us, taking $1,000 and trying to figure out a game, not the best strategy. All right, so not much on knowledge there. The next one, there's 4 total. This would be the third most important. Money management. Okay? Money management, knowing where your bankroll is, managing your rack. If you need to do a bankroll reset, that's money management. Okay? Knowing how much I'm willing to risk per shooter is money management. Okay? A lot of people are lacking that. I think the biggest struggle with money management is you've got all these bets pressed up, and if you were to pull them all down, you might be up $500, but you leave them out there, the 7 comes, and then you're minus $100. You know? So it's just knowing where your rack is at all times. If you're a beginner, put out, if I'm willing to risk $60, put the $60 out for the next shooter. And then as you get paid on your wins, put that off to the side in your rack. And now you're thinking, okay, I need to get to like $60 to have my bets paid for. Okay? If you're new or struggle with bankroll management, that is a very good way to do it to help you keep up with it. Okay? Now the last one. This is the biggie. This is the elephant in the room, and this is the number one reason why you lose at the casino. This is why certain people are winners, and I would say almost 98% are losers. Can you guess what number 1 is? It's discipline. This is the main reason why you win or you lose. I see so many comments of, I can't just win 5 to 15% and walk away. That's not worth my time. That's boring. You know what? That's why you're a loser. Yeah. I know it's a hard pill to swallow. And I'm putting it out there. The winners who win consistently will get 5 to 15% and get the hell out. The losers will try to get 50%, 100%, 46%, 75%, 25%. That is why you lose. Okay? And you can argue that all you want. And you know what? If you go back and look on our channel and videos of me playing bubble craps, almost all the time, I'll put in $100, and when I get between 8 to 15, I print the ticket. And y'all are probably laughing at me, making fun of them. Guess what? I'm fucking leaving a winner. You can sit there and put your $100 in and try to double it or take it to 1,000 like a moron and walk away with nothing. That's the difference. I was watching, I'll watch a little bit of it, but it was Color Up. He was doing 640 across. And like the first shooter, he won like $1,100. Someone in the comments said, "Oh, you should walk after that first shooter being up $1,100. You know what someone replied under that? Well, that's only a 22% win compared to your bankroll. And you know what? That's why the main guy who commented, you should walk after that $1,100, that's why he's a winner. And the person who responded to that is probably a consistent loser. That's just the facts. Okay? If you're looking to go into the casino with $500 and win more than $100, I'm going to tell you what you do. As soon as you walk through those doors, put your money in your hand, fold it in half, walk out. Because that's the only way you're going to win consistently with that sort of mindset. All right, so discipline, bankroll, money management, knowledge. Okay? Now let's talk. Let's get away from the rant. Okay? Let's get away from the rant because let's take it down a notch. Let's talk about the three different players. In my opinion, there's three different players that walk into the casino. Okay? And we'll rank them. We'll rank them like this. Okay? So the first player that walks into the casino has a specific budget. Hey, I've got $500. I'm willing to play, have a good time. You know, if I lose it, I lose it, but I'm not going to go to the ATM. That's a very good mindset. That's a solid mindset, okay? Treating it like a fancy dinner, show tickets, or whatever, set budget. If I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. This is just for entertainment. Hats off to that person because that is a terrific mindset to have, okay? Because that person shows discipline. I'm not going to dip into the bank account for more entertainment to chase. Okay? That person, winner. Okay? They may not win at the casino, but that mindset is very much a winning mindset. I've got this amount of money. If I lose it, I had fun. And there is nothing wrong with that mindset. All right, now we have the disciplined, strategic, has the guts to walk away when they hit 5 to 15% win goal. They use good money management. They have the proper bankroll. That's who we all need to become. if you want to win consistently. There is no way around that mindset to win on a consistent basis. And are you gonna lose sometimes? Hell yeah, you're gonna lose. There's no one strategy that just dominates the table. Okay? There's no golden arrow, golden apple, or whatever, diamond in the haystack. There's just not. Every strategy at some point is going to fail. But, and there's a but, if you pick strategies that have a high success rate, a high win rate, and as soon as you hit that win goal, or if you get way down and then have to grind and you're back even, that's an opportunity to walk. Well, I can't leave the casino, I'm just even. Bullshit. You were down $300 and you won it back to your $1,000 starting bankroll. That is an opportunity to leave. Okay? You won $300. You lost $300, but you won it back. Leave. There will be another opportunity. But people don't want to do that. People don't want to walk with just 5% win goal. When you really think about it, if you have a $5,000 bankroll and you won $250, would you walk away? I bet 99% of y'all would not. And I bet the 1% of y'all that would win consistently. So Ken, man, I love Ken. He ran his retirement plan, him and Waylon's retirement plan. Geez, he ran it like 96 times before it lost. And he ended up losing, I think, like $8,000. But because he walked away at between $200 and $400 each time, well, what's 200 times 90? That's $18,000 alone. If we're just lowballing that he hit 200 and walked 90 times, that's 18 grand. Okay? And then let's say he lost 10 grand. He still has $8,000 of profit. Okay? This shit compounds when you win 5%, 5%, 5%, 5%, 5%. It compounds. It snowballs. It's like a dividend. Okay? People love dividends. Like SCHD, it pays like 1.4% or something like that per share. And each share is $27. So if you scale that and you're making 10% each time you play, it's going to compound. Why do you need to win $1,000 in one sitting when you could do that 4 or 5 times and get the same result? And it would be safer because a lot of times you're just playing 1 to 3 shooters and leaving. The longer you stick around at the table, the more you find out how this table can kick you straight in the nuts. All right, so then we have the old white chip. Who would this be? This is the idiots that at the beginning of the video, I got $100. Let's turn it into 1,000. That mindset, I don't know. I don't get it. I mean, yeah, you could have a miracle to do it. Let's say it works 1 out of 10 times. Okay? So you've spent $1,000, and then let's say on the 10th time you were able to take that $100 to $1,000. Well, you're only up $100. Why not just play that $1,000 and win $100? You know, and it'd be much safer. So this yahoo, I don't know, and this person makes me nervous. Those are the yahoos that worry me, because they actually think that they can do that and that it will work. And that mindset is dangerous, because those are the ones that will chase, do credit cards, pull out their bank account, pull out their bill money. This person is dangerous to themselves. You know, and the more I read the comments, the more I've determined that it just comes down to your mindset on whether you want to be a winner or a loser. If you have the mindset of, I'm there to win 5 to 15% with the proper bankroll, chances are you're going to be a winner. If you're there to just have fun, entertainment budget, not get any more out of the bank account, you're doing good. You're a winner. If you're trying to take $500 and turn it into $1,000, I think you're the problem. Okay. You're the problem, and you have a problem. So, this is, I didn't mean for it to be super preachy, but I read these comments and see this stuff, and I'm just like, we've got to change the mindset of these people, and it's hard. It's almost impossible. Certain YouTubers, we do our best to try to teach, get on the table, get your win goal, and get the hell out. I mean, we say it, and then we go to the casino and prove that. I mean, we're not just saying it to be saying it. We're not full of shit. You can go back and look, $100 in the bubble crap machine, play for about 8 minutes. I hit my $10 to $20, cash the ticket. I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but I do practice what I preach. You know, and I preach 10%. But I also preach, if you get way down and you have to fight back even, leave. Absolutely leave. Go to a different bubble crap machine. Take a break. All right? But I want you to think, and we're just going to close. I want you to think long and hard and be honest with yourself. If you took a $500 bankroll and you planned, if I hit $45 or more, I'm leaving. No questions asked. I'm picking up my chips and I'm leaving. If you did that, be honest, how often would you be a winner? I bet it's like 8 or 9 times out of 10. I really do. I believe that. I think if you had $500 and if you were honest, if you left the table when you were up $45, how often would you be a winner? I bet way more often than you would be a loser. Way more often. And real quick, I know I said I would close this, but I love this channel, Dice Data. I don't know if y'all know him or not, or know his channel. Terrific information, simulations on strategies. And he kind of talks about win rates or win percentages. But here's my biggest issue that I wish he would fix with his data collecting. If he would set the bots that once they reach a certain win goal, they stop playing. Then run the simulations on the different strategies. Then we could really get the true win rate of certain systems. That's the data we as craps players need. Because I guarantee there's strategies out there like the don't pass ladder, the DC ladder, or the lay ladder, that if he ran the data to where the bots have $1,000, the second they hit 100, they stop playing. But when he does his simulations, he has the bots play the entire 10 shooters. And so there may be times where the bot was way up and then all of a sudden they crash by the time they get to that 10th shooter. So we don't really know how the system or the strategy did. If he could just adjust it to where it doesn't even have to be 10%, make it 15 or 20%, I don't care. If he changed the data to where the bots, the second they hit 20%, stop playing. They no longer risk their bankroll. Then we could really see how the strategy performs. And that goes with several other YouTubers that run strategies or whatever. I know there's times I do it myself where I'm like, all right, this is an opportunity to walk away, but we're going to continue playing because I want to see how the strategy does. Okay? If you already know how a strategy does and it hits that win goal and stop playing and then maybe reset, then we could get a really good idea of the win rate of certain strategies. And that information could help everyone. Because I guarantee there's a strategy out there that can win 10% over 90% of the time. There has to be. And if we can ever, as a community, figure out what that strategy is, then we can all make some serious money. So Dice Data, if you're listening, please adjust the bots to where once they hit a certain win goal percentage, they stop playing. And then let's look at the win percentages of these strategies. Because, like I said, I think it probably has something to do with a betting progression on the don't pass or the don't come would be my gut instinct, but we won't know because I don't have a simulation. I don't know how to code or anything like that. So I don't know. I guess until someone does it, maybe one of you subscribers are super brilliant and know how to code or run simulations. But if we can figure that out together, what strategy has over a 90% win rate when they hit a 10% win goal with, say, $1,000? That's what we need to pay attention to. So that's it, folks. Little rant, little preachy, but it needed to happen. So maybe you got something out of this, or Maybe you didn't. Just continue on with what you're doing. Keep pissing in the wind. Or maybe I've changed a few of you mindset, and it'll help you win better at the casino. So, till next time, be excellent to each other.